Hey YouTube, coming at you with the Virizion Ultra League team. And Virizion's an interesting one because I've used it last season. I use it with Sacred Sword and Leaf Blade. You can also use it with Stone Edge. I just find that, like, if you're going to use it, you might as well use it with 2 stab moves. Because Leaf Blade is a really, really good neutral move. It's going to be weak to a bunch of things, which is the problem, right? So you're weak to the flyers are obvious, like Charizard and Pidgeot. Any flyer, really. Charizard, Pidgeot, without a Stone Edge, right? You're really limited. So that's why people run Stone Edge on it, just for that coverage. And then Giratina and Trevenant, right? So lots of weaknesses. So that's why I paired it with Umbreon, because Umbreon can cover Giratina, Trevenant hard and then kind of okay against that. And then I started with 2. I used... first I used Jellicent, because again, like, you can cover the Charizard weakness very well. And then I went to Charizard, because Charizard's just been a beast in this meta for me. So let's get into some of the battles. It's an interesting Pokemon because, like... unlike Cobalion it's half steel, right? So it also has a fighting weakness. And there's a lot of fighters in this. It has its own, like, strengths and being able to resist a bunch of stuff, but it's got that additional fighting weakness. Well, Virizion obviously picks up, like, a flying weakness, double, instead of being, like, Cobalion, which is, like, neutral to flying. This is a double weak to flying, so that's kind of rough. But these double kick Sacred Swords kind of made these two meta right away. And I think both of them, not that they disappear, they're still everywhere, but with Charizards and Pidgeots and everything everywhere, they've kind of disappeared a bit. Not saying that they need to disappear, because if you pair them properly, you can still get a good team out of it. And loaded with anything energy, this thing is deadly, right? Because the Sacred Swords and Leaf Blades come really quick. Giratina is coming in, so you need to get out of here. Tapu comes in, but again, Umbreon does not care. All he needs to worry about the Moonblast, and one Moonblast does not take you out. So I will just chip with these last resorts and put it very, very low, and then hope that my my Jellicent can take out Giratina in the back here. Because take that, that's fine. They're actually going to have to throw again, because I get to the second last resort here, and I'm going to get to a third one, because these water guns are not going to take me out, so they have to throw, or else I'm going to take them out. So they CMP, so a good CMP there. If I remember, they end up banking, like shielding and then banking energy. So I'm like, this will take it out. And then they shield and then catch this move on their Giratina. So I guess good save and good bank. In the end, it's not going to matter too much, because what that does is just gives me enough chip damage to put this within, not Shadow Ball range just quite yet, but Shadow range and Hex. As opposed to normally you're, like, far outside Shadow, like, Hex and Shadow Ball range. So this will put it very, very low, that it's now just in farm down range, and I'll come out with energy for the Tapu when it comes back in. And I don't need to shield this. I think I could live, but again, these Shadow Claws are adding up, so shielding is not a terrible idea. I don't think they can get to Moonblast, and even if they do, I can get to a Leaf Blade probably before they get to another one to take me out. And they don't even do that, so let's actually hit some bubbles. There we go. Take it out for the win. So another good lead here. Again, you're staying in good leads. The only leads I would leave are the ones I just mentioned. Any flyer, you're gone. And then Trevenant and Giratina. I'm trying to think what else I could possibly... Ice. I guess I guess where there's kind of a weakness is if you see like a what the heck is it called, a Ninetales on the lead, because then you're kind of double weak to that. You are double weak to Fairy, and single weak to Ice. But again, like if it runs Charm, you really don't have an answer. You need to get out to your Jellicent or Charizard, which kind of limits you a bit. But the thing is, like, even with the Ice, the double kick Sacred Swords adds up pretty quickly as long as you don't take a ton of damage. So like, if you come in with Charizard or Jellicent, lose, but like farm up a ton with double kick and Sacred Sword, you're gonna chip a ton, and then you can kind of combo. So it's not comfortable, but it's possible. But yeah, that's also kind of weakness of the team. So you can also go with like Geez, what else aside of Umbreon can you go with? That's why I use Jellicent, because Jellicent is the best all around, but you're still leaving a Pidgeot weakness, and that's why I tried Charizard next, but still that makes your Giratina going to take you out. So you really need to combo it. And that's why I think a lot less people use Virizion. It's just because it is very limited against this meta. So they're throwing double Hydro, and I have Leaf Blade and I have back-to-back here. So if they shield, I will take this out right back-to-back here. I was about to say, I think I remember them shielding. So back-to-back, goodbye, Swampert. How much energy does this thing have? It does not matter. It is so low that even if they get a Sludge off here, I can Hex/Surf before they take me out, because a Dark Pulse will not take a full health Jellicent out from this range. So CMP does not matter. I will live. Yes, that's why I feel like the problem is, like, with this meta right now is very, very, very tricky. Because Giratina's, like, the flyers are just everywhere, right? So to have to cover 2 flyers is really, really tough. Especially that there's no, like, super, super, super strong answer for both flyers. Because, like, even if you come in with, like, a not Steelix. I mean, a Steelix would be better, but that's still weak to... Everything's weak to fire, right? So if you get, like, you can't cover Pidgeot and Charizard. I guess Galarian Stunfisk in my other video was kind of the closest. But yeah, it's tough with Virizion. So that's why some people may run Sacred Stone Edge on it, because it allows you to at least have potential coverage if you need it. I've also seen Leaf Blade Stone Edge, right? You do your double kick damage with that. The only problem is then you don't have anything to throw at the steals besides the double kick. So it just depends on, like, your team comp and how you want to run with it. They catch on their own Umbreon, which is fine, but they waited way too long for that. So now the switch timer is up, and I am just going to Sacred Sword this and chip, and Umbreon is so tanky. As long as they don't have Psychic. If they have Psychic, that's unfortunate, but most are running Last Resort Foul Play, and Last Resorts are just going to do these, like, yeah, neutral, sort of nothing damage there. So I can take one and then come out with a bunch of energy. Although I think that energy is kind of lost if I remember what was on the lead. Yeah, so either you, like, use it as a lead, or you, like, hope to use it as a safe swap and catch them with, like, a Swampert or something. So they came in here with, I remember, a low Venusaur, and they have to, like, shield because I'm just loaded with energy. So there's one. I got one shield. I think I grabbed the second shield, and now I'm going to take it out with this. Like, it's just, you can't allow this thing to load up. Double kick, Sacred Sword comes so fast, and it's a Swampert. So Virizion just sweeping there. Flyer lead, tough, coming Umbreon, and hey, look at that. Look at that. So yeah, it's not a bad option. I guess the only problem is, like, what are the safe swaps in this meta, right? Umbreon, sure, great punish. Otherwise, people aren't using a lot of, like, Scrafties or Obstacles or stuff. They're not using that as safe swaps. They're using Giratina, which is, you don't have an answer for. Jellicent is good with Leaf Blade because it still just takes 2 Leaf Blades to get out, and it will charge pretty quick compared to them getting to the Shadow Ball. So that's not bad. I'm trying to think what else people use as safe swaps. If you want to, like, hide this in the back, I don't hate hiding this in the back, because you can just, like, punish. Like, I'm just hard punish here, and now they are absolutely loaded, and they are just going to throw, like, I was trying to farm down, and they throw, like, 3 here. So this game's, like, beyond over already. Let's see what are the top switches in Ultra League. Charizard, yeah, Charizard is one. Registeel, I haven't seen many Registeel safe swaps, but again, Charizard, Trevenant, Cresselia, Cobalion, you would win the Cobalion matchup. I don't like these other ones, but a lot of that, like Gliscor, and then you get into, like, the like the Drapions, which are tricky, because if it's just like a Poison Sting, Aqua Tail, Crunch, you're okay, but if it's a Poison Sting, Crunch, Sludge, you're gonna get killed. So again, you can keep it in the back to hit it. One of the old common teams was, what was the lead? Because it was Cobalion, Virizion backline. You come in Cobalion, you pull out a Giratina or a Trevin or something. You have Stone Edge on it. You chip a bunch of Stone Edge, and then you come in and punish it with something, and then your Virizion roams free. What is the best sort of punish for that? It's a very common... Okay, it's really, really bothering me. I'm going to look it up on YouTube. Virizion, Cobalion, Ultra League. Yeah, it's one of the top. Let's see. Pidgeot. Yeah, that makes sense. Pidgeot, Cobalion, Virizion. Because if you're pulling out a Trevenant or you're pulling out a Giratina, Pidgeot is probably one of the best answers for it. So that makes sense that you have a double team that goes like that. Hey, it's one of my teams on the front page. Look at that with that. So yeah. I don't know. This meta has seemed to have gone. I don't know. I feel like the meta is very small in Ultra League right now. And I don't know if others are experiencing that as well. Just going to, like, I'm just thinking of like the top 50 Pokemon. Registeel, Cresselia, Pidgeot, Cobalion, Giratinas, Trevenant, Swampert, Virizion, Gliscor, Aurorus, Charizard, Tapu Fini, Jellicent, Scrafty, Mandibuzz, I've seen Obstagoon. And those are like the top 30. 38. Obstagoon's 38. When you get to 40, Umbreon's there, but I'm not seeing like anything outside of 40. Mantine, Florges, Articuno, Defenseoxys, I've seen a couple. Moltres, Blastoise, Cofagrigus, Licklicky, Tentacruel, I've seen one or two Tentacruels. Wheezing, Greedent, Como-O, Meganium, Politoed, Noctowl, everyone's just using Pidgeot or the other flyers. Lucario, Machamp, Miltank, Lapras, like no one's using anything outside of the top 30 right now. Yeah, like I'm not seeing anything down here. Skunk Tank at 82 and 83. Yeah, some people are using Skunk Tanks and Snorlaxes. But outside of that, it's really just top 30 Pokemon people are using. And it's not even all the top. I didn't even mention like Regirock at 5, Steelix at 7, and 10 and 9 people aren't using really. Guzzlord I've seen on a couple teams, but not many at 15. Buzzhole at 18, not many. So it's really like 12 or 13 Pokemon. Maybe like 15, maybe like Regice, not many people are using. So it's maybe like 22, 23 of the top 30 are being used. And then like nothing outside of that. So it's a very stale meta. It's a very limited meta. I have one more bet after this, but I'm just going to stop it because you guys get the point of this team and how you need to use it. So again, Virizion, and my voice, I can tell I need water right now. Virizion has play. How you want to do it with Stone Edge or Leaf Blade is up to you. Just know you need to cover all those weaknesses, and it is very tough given the limited meta. Long and short, decent Pokemon. Takes the right team build. I'm just going to farm down and come out with 1,000,000 energy to throw at the back Pokemon here. And I need water ASAP because I have something in my throat and it is very annoying. Yeah, so I'll chip the Typhlosion, and then I got the Charizard. Shields down, so it does not matter. So good chip. That's the thing. This thing is so fast when loaded with energy. So it's super strong in that perspective, but yeah, just cover your weaknesses. Anyways, that's it. I appreciate the comments and thumbs up, and that's it. I will see you guys on the next one.